it's a dream come true. To me, this building is the ultimate expression of the present and the future of the medical university. One doesn't replace a hospital every few years. This hasn't happened for 50 years on the medical university campus, and so it's something that for several generations will be a visible testament to our value system. We wanted the hospital to have a feel of the local culture and environment. We wanted people to know that this was not just a great medical facility that could be anywhere. This was intended for the people of South Carolina, and it respected the environment and the traditions and the culture. And in other hospital settings, if they were approaching the art, they might do this by hiring a corporate consultant. But in Mark, we have someone who really understands the educational role, is very committed not to the profit margin in art, but to supporting the local arts community.
The mandate of using South Carolina artists came from the medical university. One of the goals behind putting this collection together, and we had 641,000 square feet to fill, we wanted to provide as broad a cross-sectional view of artists in the state as we could. So they wanted to make sure that the art that was located in the building was reflective of the diversity and wonder of the state of South Carolina. Many of the works in the collection are landscapes, as you'll notice. There are some abstracts and figurative works as well, but mostly there are landscapes which speak about this place where we live. We were given a budget to work with from the medical university, which was provided by private funding. There was no state funding involved in the entire project. And the medical university gave us a budget to work within, and we made a real point of not exceeding that. We did a statewide call for submissions through the South Carolina Arts Commission using their email lists and other arts organizations within the state. And we invited artists to submit work for consideration for purchase for this large building. And we received over 270 applicants from around the state. And the art committee at MUSC, along with my staff, went through all of those materials very carefully, and we selected 72 artists whom we selected for studio visits. We then went around the state of South Carolina eating barbecue and going into artist studios. And from that tour, we made a preliminary selection of works, which we called our buy list. It was sort of a dream list initially, and it exceeded our budget considerably. So we came back and sort of fine-tuned our selections and worked with the budget, worked with the committee, and came up with what I think is a really fine collection of over 880 works. So I think we've come up with a really interesting mix. And of course we have sculptors, painters, photographers, people who do drawings. We have Catawba pottery, sweetgrass baskets, quilts. So there's quite the range of work on view within the hospital. The overall goal of the medical university involvement in the arts has to do with providing patients and visitors, as well as the staff and faculty, with an inspiring visual environment in which to be a patient or to work.
Art similarly can play a very humanizing role in an environment which otherwise can be a little bit cold and austere in a hospital. In theory, if we can shorten the time that it takes for people to recover after a procedure and operation, then it will clearly benefit them, getting them home sooner, but it will also reduce the cost of the care that's delivered. There's a great deal of evidence that suggests that patient satisfaction occurs most favorably in settings where the staff themselves are happy and caring and like what they're doing. So to create an environment where the staff themselves feel excited and energized and happy with the work that they're doing is a very, very important part of the art.
Well, we were faced with some real challenges in providing artwork for a hospital setting, given that there are all these architectural features within a hospital. There are desks, obviously, and monitors of various kinds, and fire extinguishers, hospital signage. So we did have to work with the space, and we tried to treat it in such a way that each artist has their own individual mini exhibition within the hospital. So we tried to accomplish that by the way we space the works, and also by placing the artist's biography on the wall within each space, so that people who are interested in the artwork can learn about the artist and where they're from.
Just as any arts organization needs support from the private sector, from the private community, whether it's individuals or companies or foundations, to grow this collection, to maintain the collection, to catalog the collection, requires resources. We don't think it's appropriate to use public funds for that, and so we're actively pursuing building a constituency, a private constituency, to help support this project.
It's really an extraordinary thing that a hospital would go to this effort to fill a building with original art.
And there has already been a great deal of interest, and we think as word gets out, as there's more public attention to what's going on here, my expectation is that we'll have many more people interested in supporting this kind of activity. Certainly we want to encourage more people to get involved. It's a way that people can help support a project. Someone might not have enough money to name a room or name a part of the facility after them, but a lot of people can afford to support individual or part of a collection of artwork. It's a much more affordable kind of investment that the average person can make in a facility, and so this is not something that we expect all the support to come from very high-end donors. We hope that average folks who appreciate the value of this will want to be involved as well in supporting this kind of activity.